speaking of, I asked for evidence that this was true earlier, and it seems like it might be. She's quoting Elijah Schaffer, and it says this post doesn't exist. These are his deleted posts. I have a horrible suspicion that Elijah Schaffer has killed his family with the gun he claims is stolen. What? All right, I feel like that's leaping to some logics here, but the post I quoted now deleted and a now deleted reply. My stolen car was recovered by US Customs. I'm the victim of a serious set of felonies, including gun theft. Someone from my quote unquote inner circle is involved. This is an international probe. I don't know who I pissed off. I have evidence and will prosecute. I can't say anything else. Okay. All right. Me when my wife and 2 young sons are missing, but I got my Beamer back. Yeah, weird thumbs up on that photo. Weird fucking thumbs up. Said, bullshit, you said your family was missing. Now it's all about the car. I'm glad you got the car back, but you've been on a coke bender and the missus took the kids. Coke is for homos, bro. Most pointless drug I ever did. Absolute weak piss. I can't tell if this guy is pro or anti-drug. And he said, shut the fuck up, you projecting narcissistic asshole. Sorry you did coke and it fucked your life. I don't do drugs. I'm a dad and I'm very concerned, but have been advised by my attorneys to not make any more statements due to criminal actions against me and the sensitive nature. This is weird. You wouldn't put it past Elijah Schaffer? He's crazy. I don't remember who this guy is, but I saw a Captive Dreamer post like so he posted some post. What was the one that I posted? Let me go see. Let me go see where my Captive Dreamer post is. Because I posted this to my mods and I was like, is this real? Do we have any source for this? Was this actually like something he posted? Because I don't like posting like screenshots of deleted tweets unless we know that it was a real tweet that was made. Because this kind of thing would be pretty easy to fake, right? So he said, I do not know where my wife and kids are. I cannot get a hold of them. They are filed as missing persons. They've gone missing. Last enforcement confirms someone in my household set me up. They planted drugs and said I was a criminal. This will be a public trial by the FBI. I was like, is this fucking real? What the fuck? That's weird. What does this mean? What is happening? Is this guy being targeted by people? I don't know what's going on. It's weird. It is weird. He's crazy, but it's much more likely his wife took the kids and dipped than he or someone else disappeared them. Yeah, I mean, like, the wife taking the kids would be a very likely scenario. That happens so often, does it not? But, like, what the fuck is this? They planted drugs and said I was a criminal? Law enforcement confirms someone in my household set me up? What does this mean? What did he mean by this? Some background on Elijah Schaffer. He entered Nancy Pelosi's office, took photos of her emails, and was somehow not processed like the other January 6th protesters. Yeah, that seems kind of weird. Last you heard, he was trying to build his own independent right-wing company, and he claimed that some Trump official's girlfriend tried to sue him for everything he has, and you haven't heard much since. You know way more about Elijah Schaffer than I do. I've not heard of any of those things. Drag queen died after encounter with stranger and dog as CCTV shows final moments. Man, an inquest into the death of a drag queen whose body was found under a pile of cardboard boxes was shown footage of the last moments of their life. Darren Mia Moore, 39, a drag queen who had been featured on RuPaul's Drag Race and a registered sex offender, was found dead in a lane in the center of Cardiff. Mia Moore, who performed under the names Crystal Couture and CeCe Quinn, had last been seen decked out in full drag with a full face of makeup and a blonde wig, leaving the Pulse nightclub in the heart of the Welsh city. Did they make this Pulse after the Pulse shooting in the US or before? Because if it's after, that's a weird name to pick. An inquest had heard the married drag queen had sexual encounters with other men that night before meeting a man with a dog in the early hours of the morning in the street and proceeded to have sex with both.
Oh! Ew! Dude! What the fuck?
CCTV from the night in question showed Mia Moore engaging with 2 men on that night and reappearing on camera multiple times during the encounters. He fails to appear after a third encounter with a man who later told the court his dog was involved in a sexual encounter with the drag queen. The man, whose identity had been kept under wraps by court reporting restrictions, said he went to a secluded car park with Mia Moore and began to have sexual activity with him. During their encounter in January 2023, he said he had tried to shoo the animal away, but claimed Mia Moore told him not to. He said, who would think somebody wants to have sex with a dog? But apparently he did, and I was told to leave him be. Because it was consensual and desired, I let him do what he was asked to do. I had never seen something like that before. I could have stopped it, and I should have stopped it, but I didn't. This guy's trying to save face because, like, I don't believe that this dog just randomly decided to mount this drag queen, right? Like, dogs will sniff privates and they'll like get really up close to you sometimes, but they're not gonna just engage in sexual intercourse with a human normally, I don't feel, right? Like that, this feels like this guy's trying to save some fucking face, all right? Where he's like, I may have trained my dog to fuck other men, but I was totally innocent here, actually. I just watched it happen. The owner said he lost interest when Mia Moore continued to allow the dog to have sex with him. See, that again, that just doesn't make any sense. You're telling me that like you were all fine and dandy when the dog started fucking him, but once the knot popped up, that was when you lost interest? Like, what are we doing here? I don't believe this guy. I don't believe this guy at all. After the encounter, he said Mia Moore fell asleep and could not be roused. The inquest was told tests found human and non-human semen inside Mia Moore's body, and the DNA matched the man's dog. The hearing was told pathologists ultimately found the death was not traumatic. What? Tests have since been carried out to see if Mia Moore was allergic to dogs, with coroner David Reagan saying a pathologist had theorized the drag queen's sudden death may have arisen from the dog semen. He said the pathologist made a suggestion that there might be some pathological relation with sudden death potentially arising from the dog semen. Detective Superintendent Paul Reichs replied, I think it is accepted Darren did have a sensitivity to dogs, but it wasn't able to provide a cause of death and attribute it to that. The court heard the original medical cause of death was given as 1A, sudden death in a man with bronchial asthma who had consumed alcohol and in a temporal association with sexual activity, including anal intercourse. So the original medical cause of death is sudden death in a man committing gay acts. The dog's owner was later arrested on suspicion of manslaughter, but later released without charge. Mia Moore was reported missing by his husband the following morning, and a worker at the club said she saw him enter a nearby car park. You know, I'm sure the husband is just as degenerate considering the things that this drag queen was doing, but do you think the husband knew that this guy was into dogs? Do you think they went to like the honeypotting dog fucking forums to like try and hook up with people to fuck their dogs? Nightclub manager Sean Rogers learned of his disappearance and went to check the car park and could see part of his dress from the previous night. Mr. Rogers said when he got out of his car, he found Mia Moore's body covered with flattened out cardboard boxes, which had definitely been placed on top of him. So he went to have car sex with a man and his dog in the parking lot, and then just like, what the fuck is happening? Someone moved him and then put cardboard boxes over him? What are we doing here? He said the boxes were covering a large part of his body. Mr. Rogers, this is definitely not a friendly neighborhood, man. Mr. Rogers said he tried to rouse his friend, but when he got no response, he ran back to the car to phone emergency services. He performed CPR until paramedics took over, but Mia Moore was pronounced dead at the scene. The inquest heard tributes from Mia Moore's father and husband, who described him as caring and right at the heart of Cardiff's gay community. This guy was a registered sex offender and having sex with dogs. I don't think that's the kind of person that you want to say was at the heart of anywhere's gay community. I feel like that's probably bad optics, right? He was also described as talented gymnast who ran a jewelry company called Bling 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 UK. Why 3 blings? I thought it was supposed to just be bling bling. An earlier inquest heard the cause of death was pending a decision by the pathologist. At the time of his death, a spokeswoman for South Wales Police said Darren was last seen at around 5 a.m. dressed in drag and was wearing full face makeup. A luminous green dress, a blonde wig, diamante heels, and a matching clutch bag. I don't know what diamante heels are. Is that like an expensive brand or like a style of heel? I don't know what that is. I don't know what that is. More like bang 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 from Fido. Jesus. He did die doing what he loved. Man, a tribute from Darren's family said Darren Moore was a loving husband, son, brother, uncle, and friend. He was always the life and soul wherever he went. He was our social butterfly. He made sure he had a lot of time for people and never judged others. And to be fair, if you're out there taking dog dick and getting knotted at night, you can't really judge other people, all right? You kind of lost that ability. Darren's husband and family want to thank everyone for their support, but now need time to grieve and respectfully request privacy at this time. Mia Moore was jailed in March 1999 after being convicted of 4 counts of rape of a boy under 16. In 2011, he was also sentenced to a 3-year community order and given 300 hours of unpaid work for breaching a sex offender's order. He was the heart of Cardiff's gay community, by the way. If this man was the heart of the community, I would be very worried about the rest of the people in the community. Maybe investigate all of them. Someone responded to this article that I found and posted with, "But wait, it gets worse!" Roads closed and horse-drawn procession for funeral of Cardiff drag queen Darren Moore. This guy had 4 counts of rape of a minor. This guy fucked dogs, and they closed down roads and had an official procession for him. These are the people that they are venerating. It's no wonder the Twitter freaks misconstrue me making fun of them as making fun of George Floyd when I make fun of how people try to venerate him into some kind of fucking saint. This is just what they do. Today, a horse-drawn funeral procession closed roads today as it passed the popular Golden Cross pub. 3 busy Cardiff city centre roads were closed to allow the procession. Mill Lane, Canal Street, and Hayes Bridge Road were shut between 11:30 a.m. and 1 p.m. by officials from Cardiff Council and South Wales Police. And you know what's even crazier? If you were a British person, like, impacted by not being able to use these roads to, like, get to work or whatever, you couldn't even complain on social media that a dog-fucking pedophile's funeral made your commute to work 2 hours longer, because you'd get arrested for hate speech. Snow Pegasi, thank you. They might use this to push the dog ban that they want. You can't ban dogs just because drag queens are having sex with them, chat. That's homophobic. It's because the Muslims don't like them. Yeah, but they can't use this as a reason to ban dogs quite yet. They can't. We haven't boiled the frog quite enough for them to overtly be like, we're gonna ban dogs because the gays keep fucking them. Like, they can't do that yet. Entrance and exit routes from the John Lewis Car Park and Marriott Hotel were affected for a short period of time, and access was managed by the council. Taxis, buses, and delivery vehicles were required to vacate the area by 11:20 a.m. to make way for vehicles involved in the cortege. I have not seen that word before. Cardiff Businesses Group for Cardiff had tweeted on Wednesday that the roads were being closed to facilitate a large funeral procession. But there was only a small turnout in steady rain on Thursday. Mr. Moore's funeral is understood to be being held at Thornhill Crematorium later in the afternoon. A 50-year-old man arrested on suspicion of manslaughter following Mr. Moore's death is now on police bail, pending further inquiries. So this was the recent article then. The recent article talking about the dog semen thing, February 5th, 2026. So maybe we went over the funeral procession for a pedophile before, since the dog shit, like Skooky said, is the new shit. That's crazy. That's crazy. We really are ruled over by satanic pedophiles, aren't we? We absolutely are. And I am sick of it. Dispatcher sounds rattled in 911 audio in horrific Olive Garden deep fryer death. How do you put your head, right? How do you put your fucking head in a deep fryer? Like, I feel like you can't put your head in a deep fryer to kill yourself, because as soon as that hits the top of your head, your body's gonna react in a way that, like, wants you to stop hurting yourself, right? Right? Like, that's fucking crazy. That's fucking crazy. The horrific death of an Olive Garden cook who threw himself into the restaurant's deep fryer in an apparent suicide was so jarring, even the emergency dispatcher broadcasting the service call sounded shook up. A male victim went headfirst into the fryers. A male voice said with a pregnant pause over the Lycoming County Fire and EMS radio on January 30th. Moments after calls started coming in. I don't have a lot of details, a lot of people screaming some kind of burn victim. Another operator could be heard saying in audio reviewed by the Post. The victim, whose identity has not been released, stripped off his clothes and thrust his face into the fryer at the chain's Williamsport, Pennsylvania location, as terrified co-workers desperately tried to stop him. He was rushed to a nearby hospital with severe burns, but later died from his injuries. Pennsylvania State Police did not immediately respond to the Post request for additional information. Restaurant chain and authorities so far only describing the incident as a suicide attempt and declining to comment further or identify him. The chain restaurant was shuttered for several days, but has since reopened. Kind of wild that a guy goes out like this in one of your air fryers and you're only closed for a few days. I feel like you need more of a deep cleaning, you know? But also, I want to know how this happened. Oh yeah, here's the fucking tweet you guys mentioned. Jesus Christ. Welcome home. Doesn't make up for how FaZe treated Jelly. True and real. They took her comments about wanting apolitical games and called them racism, hatred, and bigotry. True and real. True and real. Like, that entire statement was just really fucked up. Literally no reason to make that statement, man. But, some people noticing here, like Leaflet saying, it'll keep happening as long as companies continue to bend the knee, creating positive feedback loop for the most annoying people in this world, which is very true, unfortunately. And I said, the problem is, will people look at the freaks tweaking on social media, people will just laugh at how absurd it is. If you're a target of the mob, they're insanely damaging. Companies want to avoid that damage, and the only way to stop companies from caving is to show that the damage will be worse if the company capitulates to the mob. And I think this is a big problem with all of us who kind of just want to let people do their own thing. Is like when something bad happens, when like the other side has a perceived ideological victory because they've used mob justice to get a person or a company to bend the knee to them, all of us get insanely mad about it. But there's no, like, pressure on the company to do anything. And I think, like, with Bud Light and with Target, that kind of thing needs to happen, where you need to keep the pressure on, and you need to let them know that, like, hey, what you did is incredibly unacceptable. And it sucks to have to live that way, because it's like, I don't want to have to pay attention to things that fucking stringently. But if my enemy's goal is not just to win, but to see me deposed and dead, then I have to kind of pay attention, do I not? And so it's very obnoxious that that's the only thing that has to happen. And I think Asmongold said something similar recently as well, where it's like, you have to do damage to these companies. Because they're operating on the mob is freaking out, this will do damage, if we capitulate now, the damage will stop. And they're almost always right. The damage does stop, because the people on our side don't want to do damage. We don't want to cause harm. We don't want to cause a ruckus. And you've seen it time and time again when I've defended myself from attacks, I become the bad guy. Because defending yourself is wrong. Defending yourself makes you a bad person. And it's time that all of that fucking stops, man. The Sam Hyde quote is evergreen. It always is. A Celestium asking, I'm not sure why they aren't thinking ahead. It just ties back into short-term gain over long-term stability. Squeeze everything until there's nothing left. Are they even sitting and weighing the options? I'm not sure. And I was like, companies kind of operate on the, hey, this is getting a lot of negative attention. We must make negative attention stop. It's not even about money or how much who spends. It's literally just the noise and the possible reputational damage that could lead to long-term losses, if not cut off. So this is like, say a company is getting bombarded with people on Twitter, but they're all like, you know, 300 followers, 1,500 followers, maybe even as high as like 10, 15,000 followers, right? So it's like, this is negligible. This is not anything that we need to pay attention to. So if a person with like 1 million followers on Twitter starts attacking that company as well, previously all of the noise was negligible because they were small accounts. They had no reach. Nothing was getting traction, right? That 1 million follower account, it doesn't matter if they've ever been associated with the company. It doesn't matter if they actually buy the company's products or not. It doesn't matter if people in their audience actually buy the company's products or not. Simply because that account is a large account, has a lot of reach, and is now creating negative press for the company will feel more pressure to get rid of whatever those people are bitching about, right? And it's incredibly infuriating because even if it's just the like optics of there's a lot of negative attention, it's going to affect their bottom line negatively to capitulate to that mob, right? Because like all of us know, they're not affiliated, they don't spend money, their audience doesn't spend money on the product. They just want to harm the company so that the company capitulates to the politics that they want. And once the company capitulates to the politics that they want and they start getting rid of the problematic people that the mob was demanding be dropped, that now brings more room for the ideological people on their side to edge in and make it even more difficult for anyone else to get in that's not part of that specific cult. So while all of us recognize like, hey, go woke, go broke, you're not going to make any money if you capitulate to this, the company's not necessarily thinking about that. They're not thinking about, well, are we going to make more money by keeping the quote-unquote problematic person? Are we going to lose money if we lose them? They're not thinking that. They're just thinking, how do we make the negative press stop? How do we stop the reputational damage? And then I added on to this, because this guy said it's a retarded way of looking at things, and he's completely fucking right. And I said, it is. Now, think about the company getting bombarded, and streamers associated with it going, well, my audience is going to ask about this. How do I go live, and how do I shill your product if people in my audience are going to get mad at me because this other streamer is associated with you? Now, normal people would say, that's not the company's problem. That's not the company's problem that you've cultivated an audience that is going to get mad at you simply because somebody else completely unrelated to you is working with the same company. That's not company's problem. That's your problem. That's your audience. Those are the people you have cultivated. However, when you think from a business point of view, you think, well, if I have these streamers who are afraid of shilling the product that we make money off of, and they're saying, we need you to get rid of these people so that we can shill product more efficiently again and not get any pushback from our audience that we have cultivated, that's going to make them think, well, maybe it would be worth getting rid of the problematic person so that all these people scared to shill product will be able to do it without getting backlash from their audience. So the streamers that try and kick up that big fuss as well, they are part of the problem. They are trying to capitulate to a cult mob to make things easier for themselves. And that's why you often see someone being kicked under as a sacrificial lamb. And it's not always necessarily for the company, it's for people who work with the company who are complaining about being scared and not wanting to deal with something like an adult that they have cultivated in their own audience. It's also tiresome. They can't help it. The cosplayers have such nice asses. We have to let them infest our hobbies. Man, that was another fucking thing. Where is it? He said, it just came to my attention that a cosplayer who's heavily promoted by Face Connect has supported harassment campaigns against convention staff who committed the crime of wearing my merch. Shameful. Dude, it's not even day one. And there's a picture of some guy in a Rev jacket. You know, I honestly think that was a Pippa hat. Like, it's Pippa colored, right? And then fucking Cumbun over here says, dude, me and some of the other arcade staff saw this yesterday and we're like, huh? And it reminds me of the people who like get shit for like having my emotes or like using my Discord flare and shit. I'm like, come the fuck on, bro. Come the fuck on. And I was like, that's interesting. I wonder how frequently she's done this with other VTubers she doesn't like. That's very interesting. I wonder what other VTubers she might not like. Most of their tactics work because of insiders and media top cover. They will not work if we try to copy them without understanding why they work. We need to build the infrastructures, build our own tactics, build our own spaces, and hold them. You know, it's very interesting that I had to delay reading that until just now, because no clue how a corporation doesn't look into this kind of stuff and the people they associate and do business with. The only surprise this time is that it isn't a community manager of some sort. He's so close, chat. He's so close to understanding what Toast Engineer just said. Bad Company Gaming, thank you. Kumbun was cool with people she politically disagreed with, and then she recently and randomly started blocking everyone to the right of Fidel Castro. I got some bad news for you, if you believe that. Holy. This GIF was from a Fillion stream. I raid into Fillion because I'm friends with Fillion. It's very, very interesting. Very, very interesting thing to see here. I wonder if Aimee knew that I made this face because Kirsche raided. That's a little funny. That's a little funny. Wow, what a bitch! Asmongold's third reaction to the Phase Connect situation. You had a person in your org who was celebrating the death of man shot in the neck for talking, just for the pure reason of having the wrong opinion. Nobody should be encouraging that, and one of your own did that.
On Pippa and company unfollowing you. So I did see this. Let me talk about this a little bit. So I did hear that. Where did it come from? Where did it go? No, I think it's not. Yeah, here we go. I think it was on Yeet. So a lot of the people at Phase Connect are unhappy about the fact that, yeah, here it is. Phase Connect is rumored to have had their talents unfollow Asmongold on social after Pippa went viral for doing so. So I don't know anything about this. Like, and I'm gonna let y'all know, like, this is the kind of...
I don't think that everyone unfollowed after Pippa went viral. I think they all unfollowed around the same time. And how do I word this? I don't think that this was like some malicious thing. I think that this is women acting emotionally because someone large like Asmongold did something that is a perceived, like, offensive attack, when I don't think Asmongold did this on purpose. I don't think he showed something that is a known taboo on purpose, because Asmon doesn't know who the fuck Clara is. Asmon doesn't know who the fuck the majority of people in Phase Connect are. So I don't think any of this was on purpose, and when people send him links with no context, and he opens it, It's not him purposefully trying to do something. He literally just searched her name and clicked on one of the top results. Yeah, exactly.
Am I worried about who's following me on social media? I wouldn't even notice something like that.
Exactly.
Can you believe that? This is what people like this
He
do.
also doesn't use Twitter that often.
These are adults that are doing this. They're saying, you gotta unfollow somebody, you gotta do something. That is embarrassing, man. I can't believe it. They're crying hard. So apparently...
The only time I've ever called out a follow was in the middle of my cancellation campaign. The, like, main agitator claiming to be a journalist at Vice. The main, I say claiming, because, like, there's no way that's actual journalism, buddy. But, like, the only time I ever called out a follow was, like, hey, I couldn't say that I was about to, like, do anything legal. So I saw someone who had previously been implicated in stuff with me, and I was like, hey, you might not want to get yourself involved here. All right, because, like, I couldn't just come out and say, I'm serving legal papers, maybe keep yourself out of this one. So I wanted to give, like, a vague, hey, bro, let's just keep things neutral, man. You don't want to get involved. You don't believe there was any malice? Still doesn't excuse it, though? I think it's a very, very unfortunate thing that happened. And personally, because of the animosities in the water, it's kind of funny. But it's like... If FaZe had never thrown Jelly under the bus, this wouldn't have happened. So I hope that they reflect on that.
Only PC, that's FaZe Connect. And there's no, by the way, this is completely unfounded. Forced all members who were following Asmon to unfollow him. It seems like FaZe Connect is trying to create a more clean image in preparation for going public. This is just a loose theory I have, but if true, that'll be the death of FaZe Connect.
I mean, they've been trying to create a more clean image for years. I don't know about them going public. I don't see why they would, to be fair. I also don't think it would be a forced decision. I think the simplest answer is just women acted emotionally. They thought it was done maliciously. They unfollowed the person they thought did something malicious. Like, it's pretty simple.
Well, I don't think it's really got anything to do with me. I mean, like, I'm just a regular guy. I mean, I don't give a shit about this one way or another. But when I see it happen, it's like, yeah, very fucking clearly, it seems like, you know, they're probably, here's really what's going on. They're probably just defensive about it because I attacked one of their own. I did. I attacked one of their own, but if it makes them feel any better, the person's graduating, so they won't be one of yours for very much longer. So that's okay. And also, here's the...
That's true! You can refollow after the graduation! It's no big deal!
Other thing is that I did the right thing. This is the most important thing. Is that...
Even... If he had known, like, the nuances about showing specific things, I don't think he would have shown the thing that he shouldn't have shown, right? I think he still would have talked about this, and he would have showcased hypocrisy, and he would have showcased what she said that made it hypocritical, right? I think he would have shown all that. I don't think he would have shown the thing that caused all of this drama.
I can look back at everything that I've done, and I feel like I have done the right thing. Now, you might disagree with it. You might think that, well, you didn't do the right thing, but from my point of view, from, like, my value system, I think I did the right thing. And the truth is that whenever you have a person out there, and I hope that the people in FaZe Connect see this, and they listen to what I'm saying in an honest and genuine way. You had a person in your org who was celebrating the death of a man being shot in the neck for talking.
Yep.
He wasn't advocating for genocide. He wasn't hurting anyone. He wasn't breaking the law. He was sitting there of no threat to anyone else. He didn't have a weapon. He did nothing. And he was shot and executed in front of a massive crowd of people. And just for the pure reason of having the wrong opinion. Mm-hmm. That is wrong. It's a disgusting thing.
It is.
That's a terrible thing. Nobody should be supporting that. Nobody should be agreeing with that. Nobody should be rationalizing that. And above everything else, nobody should be encouraging that. And one of your own did that. That's the wrong thing to do.
And I think defending that someone did that just because they're a part of your company makes you look like a bad person. Defending it just because they're in your company, even though you know that they would likely want you dead if you overstepped a boundary, knowing that they would definitely want your friends dead. I think it's an abhorrent thing to do to try and defend that thing. And I wish that more pressure had been applied and maybe something would have happened sooner. I'm glad the graduation has happened, but it's crazy that it took this long and also coincidentally on the same day FaZe fucked up for something to happen.
And so when I call that out and I say you shouldn't do that, I'm not being a bad guy.
Correct.
I'm not the bad guy here.
Correct.
They are.
Correct. This is once again using the you have mounted a defense, therefore you are the bad guy.
And so I see this. Jelly did nothing wrong. No, she did nothing wrong. She did literally, she wished for miscarriage and death on someone. The type of...
You liked FaZe's initial approach with Clara? You liked the fact that there were no repercussions for her wishing for more violence and celebrating the death of someone who just wanted to talk? You were... Like, I mean, when the election first happened and she wanted conservative women to get sepsis and lose their babies and also their lives potentially, that went way under the radar. Most people didn't even know that happened. Most people only knew about the Charlie Kirk stuff, but it's like, no. She was violent and crazy even before that, man. It's an Instagram story. I don't use Instagram, but this was also from her account. Oh, I forgot to mention this. Women who voted for Trump, I hope you aren't trying to get pregnant and then are so happy when you are, and then they tell you the baby isn't viable and that you need an abortion to save your life. But they won't consider performing one until it's too late, and the sepsis takes over, and now both you and your baby are dead. I really hope that doesn't happen to you, because that would be tragic, wouldn't it? So when her comments about Charlie Kirk came out, I was absolutely not fucking surprised. I was 100% not fucking surprised that she had the opinion that she did. What I was surprised with was how many people were defending it and how many people were trying to use Vtuber Kfabe as a defense. If I had another account and I was like calling for the death of people on it, everyone would absolutely want my fucking head for it. So let's not play that fucking game, shall we, you disingenuous cuck?
People like that, again, they're bullies. They're internet bullies, and they're hostile, aggressive, bad people. You're mourning more than Erica? I don't care about Erica Kirk. Why the fuck would I care about Erica Kirk?
True and real. Let me see here. I have the thing that she said. Let me quote it again here. Let me quote it again. Whoop. You know about her shit-talking other talents in the company? Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Let's see. After the election on her account, she had posted... Okay, this doesn't show her name in it. You can be nice to an individual and still be a disgusting terrorist. Like that, those two things aren't equivocal. That was the first real point against Fish for you.
Like, I don't give a fuck what she does. It doesn't matter to me. Like, I don't, like, the only reason that anybody even knows her name is because of Charlie Kirk. Like, why the fuck do I care if she's crying or not? Like, I'm gonna purity test some random woman? I don't give a fuck about her. Who cares about her? What do you think? Really? Like, look, I'm an asshole, but I'm not wrong. I'm not wrong about this. So yes, and objectivity, yeah, exactly, right? These people are crazy. So I go and I call this person out, and I'm the aggressor. I'm the bad guy. I don't think so. I'm not the bad. Once again, Asmongold is mounting a defense here. He is defending people who would be targeted by Clara. He is also mounting a, hey, this is kind of disgusting shit that was said. You shouldn't celebrate someone getting assassinated. You shouldn't call for more violence afterwards. He's not the bad guy here. Absolutely not the bad guy. A Nijisanji JP member was saying that he was going to use his position to take advantage of women. He did this on an alt account. Nijisanji fired his ass for it. The Kfabe thing does not apply. That's what I'm saying. And there's so many people who are trying to mount that Kfabe defense. And like, when I talked about that, when her comments on Charlie Kirk like first happened, I never even like said her name. I never even like connected anything specific. And there were still schizophrenics running around saying that I doxed her. Like that is how insanely captivated the FaZe audience had become.
Post saying Jelly was in the wrong was the beginning of the slippery slope, and now they will have to say something and do something anytime there's mild controversy. If I was on the other team, if I saw FaZe bending the knee for this, my immediate reaction would be to dig through absolutely everything that their most edgy talents had done, right? I would be combing through shit from Pippa, from Lumi, from Panko, from Sheena. I would be combing everything, being like, Fishman, what are you gonna do about this? Like, he just opened up everyone to so many issues that they shouldn't have to deal with. And it's just incredibly fucking aggravating. Like, why the fuck would you make this announcement, Fishman? Come the fuck on. Are they already on that? Yeah, I've seen a few tweets about it already, but like it's going to get worse. It is going to get way worse. Doesn't matter if what you say is on an alt or a personal account, both your professional and personal statements are the same and will be reflected on your employers. It's like, that's why I said, like, people tell me, like, Kirsche, go stream on Rumble, you can say slurs, and it's like, no, I can't. I still have industry contacts, I still have sponsors, there's still things I cannot say.
Bad guy, I'm not the aggressor. I'm the person that is holding those people back. I'm the person who's holding them accountable. And I know that it might feel bad to have one of your own have that happen to them, but I want to let you know that they absolutely deserved it. And if somebody advocated for that on a family member of yours, you'd be agreeing with me. And that's it. So, and no, people like Charlie Kirk mourn in all different ways. I don't want to get into that. The idiot's apparently a crazy girl that said on her personal account, people found out after they doxed her. You cannot dox a person who had a public image and then change to having another public image. Doxing is revealing private information. This was public information. These were public photos and public information. Doxing.
I mean, that's kind of a good point. I don't know if she's deleted any of these things, right? Because I would push back on him, like, if they were public and then she deleted everything, like, clearly she didn't want it to be public any longer, so I would make that argument, but I honestly don't know. I honestly don't know. If it was just still public and still easily available in a public place, I'd be like, yeah, that makes sense. He's got a fucking point. You cannot delete everything off the internet. You cannot, but obviously if someone deletes something, that means like, hey, I don't want this public anymore. And it can be seen as like an asshole move to post something that someone doesn't want public, right? So like that's where I could see that. That other name has been attached to her real name for more than 13 years. That's just really bad OPSEC, bro. I'm like, why wouldn't you choose something completely different?
Is showing a person's address, it's giving their phone number or something like that. It's not saying, hey, this other thing that you posted publicly, maybe this is the same person. That's not doxing. If you think that's doxing, you're trying to, what you're trying to do by saying that it's doxing is you're trying to like water down the word so you can act like.
I agree with what he's saying here. And this is why I say that there's like a lot of rules in the VTuber community that normal streamers just don't know, right? And I know he has like some VTuber friends. I don't know how much they talk industry, obviously, but it's like, it's considered a faux pas to show off like past life or personal life accounts in the VTuber community. But if you've managed to like have horrible OPSEC and you have a name that's connected to like your VTuber account and your real account, or you have like just something that manages to make people be like, oh, this is actually you, is it? Like that's kind of, like, that's not doxing, man. Like you kind of brought that on yourself in that case, you know? It's not like Clara said a little oopsie. She said something vile. VTuber ethics go out the window. Make her infamous. It's like, I always have to be very careful in order to protect people I care about. But yes, this was not a little oopsie. This was not having a bad opinion. This was cheering an assassination and wanting more violence. If I were to be killed, I'm sure she would cheer. It's a faux pas out of respect for the VTuber. If the person doesn't deserve respect, then the culture doesn't apply. That's an interesting way to look at it, for sure.
A victim. You're absolutely not a victim. That's not the case. Whenever you make public statements and you do things like that, and you had previously released other information into the public.
This would have been surprising to you if you didn't hear her comments on Johnny Depp. I completely forgot that in a collab she defended Amber Heard. I completely fucking forgot about that. You're so right, dude.
Like, this is all released into the public voluntarily and on their own. They decided to do this. They consented to having this information public. When I show somebody...
I did not hear about that. Mods! Do we have a clip of, like, fucking Amber Heard rant?
I wonder.
Probably Johnny Depp in every movie.
Oh, can I ask you a spicy question? It's okay to say no.
Bill, I'm just thinking, we said the name Johnny Depp and you're saying spicy.
Spicy like drama.
Spicy, like, would you shit on his bed?
That's what. Okay.
Okay, do you think Johnny Depp is innocent?
See, that's what I said. I said it wasn't about the trial.
Oh, I didn't hear you. It cut out.
I'm gonna say no.
You don't?
Nope.
Oh. Do you think they're
Why?
both
What do
in
you
the wrong?
think? What do you think?
I think Amber is fucking crazy, and I think that, like, undoubtedly he was a piece of shit because he's a drug addict, right? But I do think she was worse.
See, here's the thing. There's such thing as abuse, and reactive abuse doesn't actually exist because it's just a reaction to, like, if someone is hitting you every day for like 10 years or something, and then you hit them back once, that doesn't make you an abuser. It just makes you at your limit. I think that's pretty much what happened.
What?
If you read, I read a lot into this freaking case.
Did you?
A stupid amount, but
Okay, I'm curious.
because I very much agreed at first, and then I actually read into the case, and I was like,
We'll press X on that one, little lady.
People cite the freaking, what is it? The freaking poop in the bed. I hate saying that word. I hate the P word.
But she did it.
She didn't actually.
She did.
That was proven that it wasn't true. Yeah.
Yeah, I thought he had pictures.
Yes. Yes, he did. I can't remember
Pictures
if
of
it
his own
was.
shit in his bed.
That was one possibility, yeah.
He
Because
just-
I think
He
what
just
was
shit
it?
in his own bed and
He-
blamed it on her.
I can't remember exactly what it was, but it was proven to be not true, and he was also convicted as an abuser in the UK.
Yeah, but that's the UK.
What?
Yeah.
I don't trust them.
What?
Based
I don't
not
trust
trusting the
the
UK?
So much more. Are you kidding me? With abuse cases? I don't know. Abuse cases in general are very difficult.
True.
Because it's very hard to prove in a lot of cases.
How do you
It's
feel?
very... Yeah.
How do you feel about, like, how she behaved, like, at the trial?
See, here's the thing.
In the Kobe
He
pond.
was very pointed with his words.
I don't
and
think he was pointed with his words.
I think he was. And he acted very nonchalant, which is
True.
not exactly the way that... And I remember there was one line in particular that stood out to me. It was like, you shall never look upon me again or something, or I'll never look upon you. It was some kind of
Theater kid-ass
wordage
thing.
that it didn't sound like
Here, man, she's
something
playing
that
Minecraft
someone
as
who
well,
was
handling an
abused
awful
would say, is what
argument.
I'm gonna say.
I'm fascinated by her walkway.
It didn't
I
sound
think
like it
that's
sounded
unfair.
very. When you're abused, usually you try to get away from the person, whereas it seemed more like he was trying
When
to.
you're abused, you try to get away from the person. Fucking woman who's literally never seen an abusive relationship in her entire fucking life. Holy fucking Christ. That is probably the dumbest thing I've ever fucking heard. Heard of Stockholm Syndrome? That's why it's so incredibly hard to leave abusive relationships. You always stay longer than you should. You always end up losing friends because they're like, I'm just tired of seeing you hurt yourself. You need to just leave. Like, it's such a horrible situation, man. Abused? Just run away. Oh my god.
Punish her.
I mean, he did try to get away from her, and then she started like making like journal. She started writing journal. Writing for a magazine. The Sun, I think it was, or something like that. And she was like,
Yeah, something like that.
I was abused by this guy, and that's why I am the face of abuse. And it was a relationship not long ago, blah blah blah. You know, like she was like very much like doing that thing where it's like, I'm not touching you, I'm not touching you, I'm not slandering you.
But is it bad for a victim to speak out?
I don't think it's bad for a victim to speak out, but I think it kind of goes against the whole, like,
I think it's also bad to presuppose that she was a victim instead of just writing shit to possibly slander a man to ruin his career because she was upset with the state of the relationship. And if she got ahead of the story and blamed him as an abuser first, he would never be able to actually win public opinion because everyone believes women and doesn't actually believe men can be abused in most cases.
Stay away from your abuser thing.
I don't think it does, because I think that just warns people about, you know, being in that situation. Are we going off the vibes that, like, if you speak out about your abuse, then you weren't abused?
No, I don't think that. I just think that, like, by your own, like, statement, right? If we apply that logic to her, it kind of, like, falls through. Especially because, like, in the trial, they brought up, like, her repeatedly trying to contact him and showing up to his house and...
What?
He, like, showed up to his house.
Woman who said she read a lot of things sounds confused.
And he, like, it was on the security camera. Him, like, trying to get rid of
gosh dang security cameras. That's why we need to get rid of body cams, am I right?
her. And then she,
Was
like,
this before or after everything, like, went wild?
this was, like, during everything going
There
wild.
could have been, like,
during
you
the
could have
court
made
trial.
her stuff. Oh, during the court trial? I
Or
don't
not, like,
remember.
she didn't do it to him at the court trial, but before the court trial, it's something that he brought up at the court trial.
So, but it was before.
Yeah.
Okay, I don't know enough about that to comment.
Mm.
I don't remember this part.
I could be getting info wrong because it has been, like, forever.
Oh, God!
It's been, like, 4 years.
But there
4
are
years,
also...
3 years.
Oh my God, has it actually been that long? Oh
It
my
has been.
God.
It's been, like, 3 years.
I hate time. I hate the time
I think
continues.
the worst case right now is, if we're gonna bring up drama, is the freaking Reynolds family.
Okay, that's probably over. That's probably the end of that argument.
Public information that that individual consented to being made public, that is not doxing. It's not. It's ridiculous.
I agree.
It's a ridiculous thing to accuse somebody of.
I agree.
Of course it's not true. I would never do that. Is this a Goyam crash out? That's a good question.
I was not expecting Asmon to just hit me with the fucking Goyam. Oh my God. the Meshuggah of this guy.
If they get rid of another menu on Taco Bell, there will be.
True.
Yeah. You
Bring
listen,
back my
guys, you can
chick
fuck with
star.
my media, but don't mess with my slop. Okay? Security, it does. And so that's it. And so if these people, and I want them to listen to what I'm saying, if they are willing to, I want them to listen to what I'm saying, because this is the truth. I don't think anybody can argue with what I'm saying here. I don't think they can. And there is, I think that, like, I know people might not like this, but I think that I do have the moral upper hand here.
He does, 100
And I don't
fucking
even
percent.
think that it's close.
It's not.
I don't. I don't
Not
even think
even
it's
close.
remotely close.
I can still say that, like, I think it was not a good thing to blast what he did. I also don't think he did it on purpose. But if we're gonna talk about the morality here, he still has very much the upper fucking hand based on what happened. Like, accidentally showing some public real-life pictures that are still available somewhere on the internet is nowhere near cheering an assassination and calling for more violence. Do I like hope that happens? No. No, absolutely not. And it's fucking a shame that that did happen, but it did. And, you know, again, based on some things, it is kind of funny.
So that's the way I feel about it, right? It was not doxing. It was not. It was not even remotely close. You do, yes. No better time to start canceled cast. I mean, we already kind of have that, don't we?
Canceled cast.
But you know, maybe we could have some few other guys on Allcraft and see what happens, right?
It's
I mean,
me,
fuck,
I'm a
there's
guy.
a lot of people we could have on now.
Pretty bad form, Kumbun. Who is Kumbun? Professional cosplayer that was chosen by Face Connect last year as one of their top guys over Crisis, hashtag Justice for Crisis, caught supporting and retweeting the comments of seething Face Connect antis, using Jelly's unfortunate situation to virtue signal and make herself look good whilst shilling merchandise with Face Connect talent's likeness. Challenging FaZe chuds and silly boys, ? I can't really read that because his model. They're not welcome in FaZe, lol clueless. And some tweets here. I always hope to foster a wonderful community of FaZe fans who are all kind to one another and are loving and understanding. I hope everyone of all loving walks of life and identities feel like they're welcome here in my little corner of the FaZe Connect fan community. You know what that reads like to me? that reads like, I'm trying to build my community by advertising myself in your community. That's a little funny. That's a little funny. And then, so the shit show might have happened because of some cosplayers. A cosplayer has a lot of pull with FaZeCon's event organizers. I have no words. Highly doubt these people have any sort of pull inside FaZe. Are you stupid? Mollington literally spelled it out. Kumbun's working with prodYakkai, who are in charge of FaZeCon. Your intentional blindness and being unable to do basic reading is retarded. Sorry, Azahara, I gotta side against you for this one. And then, McGuire here, I guess, is the guy, Gio Riku, who owns the prodYakkai. We are not in charge of FaZeCon, let me make that clear. In no way, shape, or form is that correct. And then someone said, was this just a lie for clout? And it's Pippa saying, FaZeCon needs a room with a live cam set up in it so we can stream snipe the con and make you guys do jumping jacks and stuff. And then the prodYakkai account says, BRB adding it to the FaZeCon production schedule. And then the owner replies that we are a tech provider. No, not a lie in any way, actually. Clown shit. And the response is, you're in charge of the production schedule. Kumbun was retweeting anti-Jelly tweets and was vocal anti-FaZe Connect. Called for fans to be harassed for wearing Revs' Desu merch. Keep digging your hole, FaZeCon will be a failure. I can't believe that we already have, like, destructive internal politics a la Offkai, and FaZeCon hasn't even actually happened yet. Like, that's just fucking funny. What happens to FaZeCon? This is the production yokai guy again. What happens to FaZeCon at the end of the day is not my team's purview to deal with. We simply show up, provide a service, and then leave. Being that we are a tech partner does mean we can suggest additions to the production schedule, which is how conventions work. Go outside. This guy's gonna try really hard to make it seem like they have zero influence and zero pull. Anyone who's done anything in the con scene knows how incestuous it is, and knows exactly that everyone talks and everyone can make a decision on certain things. The fact that it's happening in the same venue pretty much tells you it is still just an exact copy of Offkai, but just with another name. Yeah, would not go to FaZeCon, would not spend money on FaZeCon, and I feel like a lot of people feel the same way nowadays. This guy responds, sure, and just like Offkai, I'm sure there won't be any tech issues by people who hate FaZe talent. God, you woke freaks, and your anti-racism / bigotry is disgusting. It's always very interesting how, once again, when I showed the level of rot at Offkai, and one of the old Offkai people who, like, let loose about the people on Offkai staff hating Pippa, that person probably also hates a lot of things I say, but we had a moment of understanding publicly on Twitter. We were just like, maybe we don't disagree about so much after all. So that was a very funny moment. But, like, I have shown quite a few things about Offkai, showing that they tried to sabotage things for FaZe, even in the beginning, even before I was mentioned at Offkai. And it's just like, that is an insane thing, and I hope Offkai suffers greatly. I hope they go under, and I hope it's no longer a convention. I would like to see VTuber conventions for all VTubers. I hate the shadow politics. I hate the fucking playing games behind the scenes. I hate the mean girl attitudes. A convention should be a politically neutral ground. It should be unironically for everyone. Someone else said, dude, service providers have no pull or influence because the only possible power play, not providing the service, would result in a legal disaster. This person's a fucking retard. This guy said, we literally have them interacting directly and retweeting anti-FaZe statements, jelly harassment, and calling FaZe a hateful company. It's obvious they are leftists and are literally the main provider to set up the logistics of FaZeCon, and it would take too much to hire a new one. And the guy who owns production, yokai, whatever, said, show me where I did anything other than repost the FaZe statement, I'll wait. And the guy replied, oh, hey, look, you retweeted slander that said Jelly was a racist, hateful bigot for the crime of wanting no politics in her block game. Why do you hate centrist opinions? And he said, the owner of the company said, if I said I generally agree with what she said and what FaZe posted was wrong, will you believe me or just keep pressing this because it doesn't fit your narrative? If that was true, why did you retweet the fucking apology statement? Why would you even put your foot in that position? Like this, if he had just done nothing, nobody would be on his ass like this, you know? Don't worry, Foxu, I'll wear your merch. I got deported at my Oshi's meet and greet shirt to FaZeCon this year. Oh, man. Ty Jack, thank you. Pretty sure Irie has said they pushed for the con in Texas, but that convention never called them back. That's what other people said the other day, that they were trying to set it up in Texas, but they didn't get a call back from that hotel. I don't know if they tried other hotels in Texas. I feel like just trying one would be silly, but I don't know anything about setting that up. People like you give our community a bad name and make it really hard to publicly be a fan of the talents. No, I think that's you guys. This other guy said, oh, so now you take a little heat and you say it's wrong in a random message chat days later. Why didn't you say anything when it happened? God, you spineless freaks are disgusting. Keep blackmailing Sakana, I guess. I think he might have the direction of that twisted. I did actually, said the owner of the company, but that also doesn't fit your narrative, so you won't post it. Here it is, enjoy. And this is a quote of something he said, where if a company that I follow and enjoy/support posts a statement, I think that it should be seen by those who follow me for VTuber content. I simply chose not to comment on my thoughts at the time, as I felt it was not something that was needed. I've taken the day and have since changed my mind, and have since started talking about that here with you. Again, for the record, I do feel like this was something that was pretty harsh on Jelly, and I personally think removing the post on her end was enough to get the point across. FaZe has their own reasoning for sharing that statement, and as such, I reposted it. My profile feed isn't some bastion of perfect posts and positive reinforcement. It's a mix of my personal interest, takes, reposts from the wider industry, and what my production company is doing. If people have issue with me agreeing with them in some ways on how this was handled, then that's unfortunate because they're missing my point. See, this makes me think of Asmongold going back and talking about Ludwig making a statement. And he said that sometimes people make a statement that appears to be the right thing, but you have to think about, are they saying the right thing because they believe it's the right thing to say, or are they saying the right thing because it's a good business decision? What we saw here after FaZe Connect's apology tweet was actual FaZe fans, the actual communities, absolutely revolting against FaZe. Talking about wanting refunds for merch, talking about not going to FaZeCon. So is this what this guy actually believes, or is this a good business decision to try and calm the waters to get more people interested once again in FaZeCon? He retweeted the antis, but then made a nothing statement that does not say what he is saying it said. Yep. Trying to hide behind neutrality after the fact. And the guy who pointed it out said, dude, the first comment is calling out your lies and cope, fucking retarded leftist. I don't know what the first comment is, I don't have it. The owner of the company responded, yeah, what the guy said was stupid, as is what you're saying. So I replied with the truth. Y'all just pulled the sheet over your eyes and moved the goalpost because you have nothing else to do. Go outside, call your mom and say you love her, literally anything else, because this is making you look like the entire circus. That's interesting to say. So this other guy said, oh no, I triggered you. Sorry, man. What are you gonna do? Pressure Sakana into calling me a racist by pulling your company out of FaZeCon with only 4 months left. We have your post history, retard. Hope you libtards go out of business. I like this guy. The owner said, we're doing better than ever, actually. And funnily enough, entirely in red state, so do with that what you will. I don't think it matters if the stage is red, considering the con scene is like a disgusting Habsburg pool of blue. And no, I'm not actually going to send anything anywhere, as it wouldn't do anything, you know, because we don't have that pull, as I've said several times. The fact you're bringing up something called, the fact you are bringing up being called racist, though, is interesting, as I never said that. There's something you want to share. Yeah, it was in the FaZe apology, which is what he's calling back to. How could you forget the entire conversation you're currently having, man? What the hell? The guy responded, enjoy your girlfriend getting roasted and harassed off the internet for the vile shit she does and did do to Crisis. Fucking cuck. Wait, what did she do to Crisis? Hold on, wait a minute. All I know about Crisis was that she was a FaZe cosplayer and she was like very well liked. And then something happened and she just like disappeared off the internet. I have no idea what happened with her. Inner voice visualization question chat. When you rotate the apple or Asmongold, is it a fluid rotation or is it choppy? What the heck? You've heard Gumbun ran Crisis off from the FaZe cosplay scene? Well, that would be a rat, right? We don't have any proof of that. I want proof of things, right? I want the proofs. You think Chairman covered it yesterday? Oh, does Chairman have the proofs? Crisis was a big fan of mine. Hopefully she comes back eventually. Oh, that's really sad. I wonder if there's anything I can do to help. I don't know what's going on with her. She had a bit of a meltdown when she wasn't even approached for the cosplay thing in Offkai. I mean, that is kind of fucked, right? Like, if she was someone who was known for Faye's cosplay and then didn't get picked for, like, an official cosplay, like, I'd be pissed, right? I'd be like, hey, I spent so much time doing this for you guys and I got fucking snubbed? What do you mean? What do you mean? He just walked back in after enjoying a delicious boiga. She came back a day or two ago to tweet her first tweet in over 6 months. Yeah, I saw that. And I was like, oh my god, she lives. Oh my god, she lives. Christ has been posting a bit on Twitter recently. I only saw the one jelly-based tweet. And so let's see, what else is this guy saying? The owner actually responded to this guy posting Rev's tweet about Kumbun, saying, aw, he's mad now. Have a good one, bro. Reddit is back where you came from. Is this guy trying to say that, like, Reddit is not leftist? What is he fucking talking about? What is he fucking talking about, bro? Squirm guy responds, oh no, the woke leftist who was letting his cosplay girlfriend harass Phase Connect fans is calling me a Redditor. Shovel me timbers. The cuckold got me scared now. And then the owner of the fucking production company said, I don't know, you seem more mad that you're getting dunked on and called out than scared. Bro, if he thinks he's dunking, I don't know what to tell him, man. Reddit is right wing. What is this? Oh my god, it keeps fucking going? Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? Squirm said, dude, I posted pictures that you were dumb enough not to scrub off your profile. Phase is imploding, but hey, enjoy Clara and wishing death on conservatives, I guess, from your insane side of Twitter. The owner guy said, what she said was fucked up and wrong. What Rev actually said about it yesterday is entirely correct. Maybe he's not hopeless. Maybe he wasn't just being performative when he made that other statement, all right? See, now I'm a bit more on his side. Her leaving is a good thing, I think, for everyone involved, and what she said should never have been said in the first place. Nobody deserves to be killed in front of their family for their beliefs. Agreed. Squirm said, funny, you only think it's wrong when Asmongold revealed it all and yet never said anything. Maybe he didn't know about it? Right, like, maybe he didn't know? That would be a reason. But we're happy to repost lies about Jelly while Kumbun harasses Rev fans and Jelly fans. Dude, learn to scrub your profile before lying next time. Dude, he didn't reveal anything to me. I've known for months. Oh. Well, there goes that. Pretty sure I said stuff then as well. I wouldn't know. I wouldn't know if he said stuff. This is my first time even seeing this fucking guy. Genuinely don't get what you're trying to get out of me here. It's all on my profile for you to see. Your issue with the fact that you believe I'm a leftist freak, I very much am not, by the way, is preventing you from seeing the truth, and it's just kind of sad. I don't know how someone who's not a leftist freak could put up with having a girlfriend who is one, to be fair. To be fair. And this the other guy said, so you knew about Clara for months and said nothing, no public tweets or retweets calling her out. Why did you retweet the Jelly lie so quickly? Do you only not speak up when the things they say line up with your leftist beliefs? I can't believe that this guy is still fucking replying. Like, if I was anywhere in this company, I would have, like, 20 posts ago been like, shut up, stop replying, stop saying things. Squirm is unreasonable asking and expecting someone to be in business with the company to talk about another content creator's personal life posts. I think it is a little unreasonable, but then the guy went ahead and said he knew about it for months. Like, the guy did know about it. Did he post something about it? I don't fucking know. I would say that it would be hypocritical if he didn't post anything about that, but then he wanted to post about the Jelly shit, right? And the owner guy said, I want you to go back, read what I said again, and then try and say that again. I did actively follow along with what was happening, and I do think I made comments and reposts on it. You just want to ignore it, as you have everything else making you look like an idiot. Go outside. And like, I think it's weird, right? It's weird that if he knew about it for months, he didn't say anything until now, after the Jelly stuff. But him saying what she said was fucked up and correct, what Rev actually said about it is correct, her leaving is a good thing, blah, 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 all of that, I think that makes this other statement that he made more believable. Right? This makes this more believable. Where he retweeted the fucking apology, and then he was like, hold on, wait a minute. I didn't read this fully through. I actually disagree with some of the stuff that the apology says. I think this makes that more believable. The Squirm guy said, dude, you reposted it. You refused to defend Jelly and call out Phase Connect. Girlfriend Kumbun harassed fellow Phase fans and reposted slander against Jelly. Quiet down. The owner replies, show me where I refused because I have several posts now saying the exact opposite. And I'm on his side at this point. I feel like the Squirm guy is now being unreasonable because he's made several statements agreeing with the opposite side, agreeing against what, like, happened to Jelly, agreeing with what happened to Clara, and, like, saying what she said was bad. I'm on the owner guy's side now. I still think Gumbun is weird, but I'm on this guy's side. The Squirm guy continues, why have you not called out Gumbun for reposting harassment against Jelly? I mean, he doesn't have to call her out. He just has to go to her in person and be like, hey, maybe you should delete some of those retweets of you retweeting harassment against the company that we're supposedly trying to help. Why did it take Asmongold to have you start coming out in public to attack FaZe fans? I don't know what that means. Why did you repost the lies against Jelly and didn't say anything? Disgusting. And the owner replies, bro says I'm attacking FaZe fans. All right, bro. Lamau. Let's be clear, you aren't a fan. You're a tourist and have been for the 2 days you've known enough to care about FaZe. Squirm continues. Squirm guy, you've lost the plot. The Squirm guy has lost the fucking plot. He said, sorry, I brought receipts and tar and feathered you and Gumbun as the woke freaks you are. You have no defense other than insults. Well, I have a pile of screenshots of your lies and tourism. Well, you only dumped a couple. The owner said, whatever helps quiet the voices, there's a new website. You can get meds for that. You should try it sometime. That's kind of funny. That's kind of funny. Squirm said, Lord Mollington already calling it out. Get fucked. Retard. FaZe community is coming after your ass. You've already posted this. This is the same screenshot you posted earlier, Mr. Squirm man. You've lost the plot. McGuire saying, pretty sure my company will be just fine. Whatever you have to say about me just isn't true. Keeps getting proven false. So tourist. Squirm replies, why is this still going? You supported calling Jelly a racist. Get fucked, corpo tourist. And then the owner responds again. I didn't actually, and as you have seen but refused to read several times now, that's just false. But tourists aren't actually around for long enough to take in the sights and sounds, so what would you know? Fuck off back to wherever you crawled out of, tourist. Squirm responds, the person calling Jelly a racist, hateful bigot thinks I'm the tourist. Dude, seriously, you can't think of any better insults. Well, remember who sided with management against our Oshi. The owner responds, minus the part where I actually said she's the exact opposite of that. To your face. Yeah, you really just have less than nothing, huh? Sad life you live. Squirm responds, why didn't you make a public response? I don't care to read it. Owner responds, I already posted it publicly, brother. Squirm responds in an empty comment section while you reposted FaZe lies. McGuire responds, not everything needs a statement. SSRIs may help you, bro. I don't think SSRIs could have helped anyone here. We need like housewife cocktails all around, because how the fuck are either of you still responding? This is actually a tard fight. Squirm says, so reposting a lie calling Jelly a racist is fine to make a public statement, but defending her and apologizing doesn't. McGuire said, considering FaZe Connect made a public statement, not me, and I'm not them, yes, I will not be making a dedicated post. And it's just like, holy shit. Squirm is like, you literally reposted it, didn't even disagree with it, just sent it, and you repost the fucking med site. Ladies, both of you are insufferable. Squirm said, is that all you can post, retarded leftist? The owner responds, all you can do is post a picture over and over. Brother, a good few % of your entire history is you posting the same images. Squirm, because you keep lying. McGuire, show me where I said I have no idea. I'm waiting. Tourist. Squirm, I thought you said you were on board and done with me. McGuire, yeah, I'm bored, but I do want to see where I said that. You won't get a reply from me after this unless it's those words verbatim. I'll wait. Squirm saying, are you retarded? You can check your own post feed. God, you cancel culture leftists are retarded. Get fucked, tourist. I do enjoy looking at your girlfriend tits online, though. This is a post from fucking McGuire saying, I'm glad you have your own beliefs, even if they're fed to you by others. It's been fun, but I'm bored, so I'm out. Figured you'd at least be somewhat harder to fight, but I guess I was wrong. See ya at FaZeCon, man. I have a feeling you will not. But holy shit, this was like the most retarded tard fight I've ever fucking seen. Oh my god. Twitter! Bro, Loki cooked him in the last one. Holy shit. There's a reply. Does it keep going? Doesn't look like it. It looks like that's finally the fucking end, but what the actual fuck? Oh my god. So, everyone's favorite retard, Pearl Davis, was, I guess, getting into a slap fight with someone. I have no idea how this even came across on my fucking board, dude. I have absolutely no idea. So Pearl Davis said, conservative women will always use their marriage, family, and children to build their brand and signal status to the group. And then the Lily person she's quote tweeting said, I'm not conservative, Pearl. I'm a racist white nationalist and I don't LARP as trad. Pearl Davis in all caps said, "You are using your kid to build your brand. That is the point of the post. Don't play dumb." And then Lily said, "Don't make me do it, Pearl." And I got to that and I was like, oh no. Oh no, I know what's coming. Pearl said, "Borrow some balls from your girlfriend and do it." I was like, holy shit. I am never deleting this app. This is the freest form of entertainment you could ever get, brother. That's crazy. That's she ulted. She's been biding her time for this.